Mike here, sans Melly for the moment. Welcome back to mi casa here, the garage at the old Rench ranch. A lot has changed since the last time I posted up a video, which was kind of a Barney update. Ran into another problem. So while Melly and I would have loved to have dug into Barney and getting into some other projects with motorcycles and whatnot, ran into a problem with my garage, and I'm going to show you. Those are porch posts we had to put in. This just begins the problem. Victory garden here that we put in while we were on lockdown. So, got temporary support here on a tool shed. That's part of the patio carport that's attached to my little garage. And the double bacon genius burger who put this in put the post directly into the soil. And so they've been rotting for years. So I thought maybe this spring we would do what we did in the fall, bond down some of these deck blocks for deck post mounting, and then put in, you know, some more of these supports here to rest this structural beam on. Well, a couple problems here. The slab is cracked and subsided. Second problem is, back to the double bacon genius burger. Notice anything here? That is about as crooked as a politician. I don't know why the previous owners of this house decided when they were going to build this on, I'm sure they did it themselves, that they were going to not use a tape measure or ruler or anything and completely botch the hell out of this. Before I get it in the comments with the keyboard commandos flaming the shit out of me, this is not supporting the entire weight of the porch. I still have two posts, even though they're rotting at the bottom and this roof is kind of subsiding down, and then those two posts. But I'm not doing any more to this carport patio, and I'll show you why. All of this gravel here was installed by the previous owner to hide some very bad things with the garage. So my garage here is that's the original structure. There's an add-on to the back, which if we go inside you'll be able to see it. Where the door is here, and there's a step up into this structure. This is a completely different roof with a different pitch than this roof up here. You can even see the opening. That's the peak of the ridge of the roof. Well, the problem here is the fact that this house is built in 1949. They built the garage too. This is just a concrete slab. This is 16 wide, 20 deep. They built this slab at grade, and over the decades, what has happened is the slab that the garage sits on is actually now several inches below the overall grade of the area. And when we get heavy rains out here, this floods, like there'll be standing water. And so the people who lived here before put down some plastic sheeting and this gravel to try and fix the problem. There's a crack here, runs all the way to the back. And this part of the slab has subsided that way, down. And water floods in here and has rotted the base or the sill of the wall all the way along it. The sill is gone, and the slab is below the grade outside. Now, I've already looked into what's called mud jacking or hydro jacking. They drill holes in the slab. They pump in a slurry of bentonite clay and cement to lift up the slab. Problem here is that addition plus the carport on the outside are on 3 different slabs at 3 different levels, joining the structure in 3 different places. You can't jack all that up at the same time. So there are some other sins in here with the construction of the garage. The quotes that I got for repairing the side slab, to fix the roof, to build a new shed, and to try and lift this slab, it was cheaper to build a new garage. One of the reasons why this is pretty empty in here, except for these 2 bikes, which I'll explain in a moment, is that we're building a new garage. I've already got a deposit down. It's a very slow going process because of COVID-19. We are waiting for permit approvals and zoning and all that crap to be able to build a garage on our own property, even though we're paying for it in cash Doesn't matter, still gotta go through city and all the bureaucracy. The new garage is pretty much gonna look exactly like this one. The siding will be a slightly darker color. It'll just be one roof with a covered patio and a slightly bigger shed, and the garage will be a little wider, and it'll be the full 28 feet deep that the building itself is, because we're doing a replacement structure. So I'll be able to fit all the bikes in on this wall, and then I'll have a space for a lift back there is kind of my plan. A side door instead of a front door, one big garage door, and then, like, you know, toolbox and shelves, and I want to put a kegerator or a refrigerator or something like that in here. I'd like to insulate it and put a pass-through heater, AC heat pump kind of thing like they have in hotels. So that's the plan. So all the stuff, the Scout, Barney, the Roadliner, the Speedmaster, they are all at a storage shed right now, along with all of our other stuff. These two bikes are going to stay here under cover, and then some of this stuff will just sit under a tarp, and then my toolboxes will go in the house along with our bicycles, so that this garage can get ripped down. The other thing here, a little bit of update, is Melly and I bought these back in December before COVID-19 was a thing. I bought a pair of Royal Enfield Himalayans, or Himalayans, depending upon what part of the world you're viewing from. Melly and I have already gone on a road trip here in Michigan. Melly and I rode 1,147 miles on these bikes. So it was great. Northern Michigan is just beautiful. They were closeouts for last year's model, and I bought them before COVID as a Christmas present for Melly and I. We lived debt-free, and I was able to save up the cash, and we just bought them outright. So we still have all the bikes. We just happen to have 2 more now, because apparently we need more motorcycles. You don't call it Moto-Melly for nothing. I'm kind of sad I got to spend the money on it, but I'll be happy when it's done, because it'll be done right, and I'm going to build a little pergola here, so for some added shade, to have like a big picnic table. We're going to make our own beer garden out here and have like Oktoberfest all year long. The concrete guys came in and did the demo on the garage. They gutted the structure out from the inside, took out all the stuff like wiring and whatnot, and then they brought the roof of the garage down, which kind of squished some of the landscaping. Mel and I weren't too happy about that, but we'll fix it in the spring. You can kind of see all the different slab levels, and it's just a mess. You can see on the right here that the slab is under the grade with the gravel piled up there. They use their New Holland skid steer to take out the concrete and the slab. Then they hand dug a 48-inch footer for the foundation of the garage, and here's where the foundation wall's been poured. Then they came back in, plate compacted the dirt, backfilled in the crushed limestone, 4 inches of that, and then we've got the double wall of cinder block, which the slab gets poured into, and that's rebar reinforced. So I got 4 inches of crushed gravel or crushed limestone, 4 inches of concrete, and then we've got the slab around the outside for the patio and the driveway. So at this point, the concrete work is pretty much done on the garage. Here's the slab to the new garage. They just finished pouring the driveway section of it yesterday. This is the side door. Gonna have a patio there, a window there with like a bar on it so you can pass through. This over here is gonna get walled in along this. And then this is going to be a tool shed for all the outdoor stuff, plus our kayaks and our bicycles. Should all fit in there. And I think I'll put a potting shed in there for Melly so she can pot plants for landscaping. So that's going to be a tool shed door, and that's all covered patio. And it'll be all under one roof. Then all this is going to be garage. I don't think I've had this much garage space in my entire life. I almost think that the footprint of the garage is almost the size of the house, but hey, the city let me do it. So the slab of the old garage used to be lower than that backfilled dirt, which was the reason why it had to come down, because that whole wall was rotted, and the slab that was down there before was almost 6 inches underneath the soil level. There was no raising it. It was a mess. When they pulled it apart, there were like 4 different slabs. It was cracked, and this end was subsiding, 2 different roofs. So I didn't want to spend the money on it. However, I'm glad we did, because I'll have plenty of room for motorcycle storage. And I'm gonna insulate and heat this, because in Michigan it gets freaking damn cold. The general contractor came in after the concrete work was done and started framing the walls. So 3-man crew with a 4th guy that kind of floated between jobs, and they made short work of this. They really did. So in the first day, they made the framing on the ground and stood it up for the perimeter walls of the garage, and then framed out with some glue laminations the header for the garage door and for the covered patio. And second day, they started putting the roof trusses up. So they just hoisted them up on top of the walls they built and then stood the trusses upright. They just did it by hand. They didn't need any crane or anything. They braced and checked for square and plumb, and drove the nails in. And the second day, the entire roof was built with a little bit more work on the inside, and they tarped it up until they came for the third day. Alrighty. These guys have been busy. This is 3 days of work for these guys. Now, they still got a bunch more work to do, but it'll get us through some bad weather. It is December 31st right now. So these guys have got this place buttoned up to the point where we get a little bit of snow or rain. They got it tarped on the top. They got it tied back around. There's my window. That's where the bar is going to be. Side door. Almost a 2-car garage, not quite. I know it doesn't look like it, but the outer perimeter of this whole building sits on the same footprint of the original garage, which was garbage, but I'm going to have so much more space. 28 feet, and it's 18 feet wide, and we've got almost a 10-foot ceiling in here. We have a double block wall. Those are full 2x4x8s with a double plate on the top for the sill. Not too damn shabby, I gotta say. Covered patio, picnic table, window there for the bar, plenty of room for a ceiling fan and all that good stuff. Still kind of a mess here. Thinking about doing a cantilevered awning style pergola off of that. Well, thanks for watching. Now y'all kind of know why Melly and I haven't been putting out new videos lately. We really appreciate if you would like and subscribe to the video, and stay tuned for more updates.